Hello, this is TJ with Piano Clubhouse coming at you again with a second video on D-flat praise and worship songs. In the first video, I really tried to emphasize how important it was for the left hand to have strength and independence in your left hand so you could run that bass. And how less important it was for the right hand to be playing a bunch of fancy chords, as long as your left hand was running a smooth bass line. I think I initially just kept one chord in the left hand. So that was just an example that the left hand is really what drives the song. And once you get down these basic, get your left hand running in that pattern of what that running or walking bass is, there's probably a good 6 or 7 praise and worship songs, just generic gospel praise and worship songs that you can do very easily once you get the pattern down. I'm just going to show you a few of them and show you just some of the basic chords you can throw with it. And once you get kind of get that walking bass in your toolbox and get 2 or 3 right hand chords in your toolbox, you can play a plethora of songs in gospel churches for praise and worship. So let's just get right to it. Again, we get the left hand going. We're working in the key of D flat right now. The walking bass is D flat. When I'm doing a D flat, F, G flat, G, A flat, then skip to B flat, then go up chromatically. Instead of going all the way back down to D flat, just go down to F. Go down to F. Now the pattern is once you do this a couple times, most gospel songs will. Right now, the bass note is D flat. At the end of each phrase, it ends on D flat. Okay, once we do that a couple times though, we're going to change our root note is the 4th note of the scale, G flat. So let's do that. One more D flat. Right there. You can either do that or either one. So let's do both of those together. Let's go down to the F, and back to the 1. Okay. Go to the F, F sharp. So let's throw the right hand with that, with those 2 changes from the D flat as the root note, going to the G flat as the root note, and we'll place a couple of chords to go with it. For the right hand, your root chord, just a basic one that you can play, is play the D flat triad, D flat, F, A flat, and then add this B here. You can pretty much play that for most of your walking bass when you're walking with D flat as your root. Or you can do 2-5-1 as well. Lost one. There we go. Back to the first one. So the key is, you don't necessarily have to just play it straight. You can kind of play it rhythmatically, kind of bounce around, kind of percussively, where you're playing it on beats. try to keep your left hand going smoothly and steadily while you're bouncing around with your right hand. That again helps the independence of each hand, instead of kind of doing it unevenly. Out of anything, if you don't take anything away from this, be sure that your left hand continues to run smoothly. If you have some sort of beat machine or drum machine, or a way to pattern sequence a drum, or even just a metronome or a click, get it going and try to keep that left hand running with the drum. Pretend like your left hand is the bass guitar, and that it's running with playing along with the drummer. If anything else in the church stops, the bass guitar and the drummer should keep going. And that's the same thing with your left hand. It needs to keep going regardless. I just messed that up. Now, when we go to this 4 chord, let's go to this chord. It's a 4 chord. Our typical 4 chord for D flat is D flat, F, G flat, B flat, but we're going to drop this F down a half step to E. Okay? So whenever you shift the gears with the left hand, and this is your root note, and you're walking or bouncing around, or sorry, walking around from the D flat, G flat, switch down to this chord. The first chord is this, D flat, F, A flat, B. The next chord, this D flat stays, then it goes to E, G flat, B flat. Let's put it together. I'll show you that passing chord in a minute. Remember, you can either do this or 2-5-1. Ain't nobody do me like Jesus. Can't nobody do me like the Lord. Let's do that beginning again.